Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a deep dive into the Midwest snowstorm. So if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Let's get right on into it. So we have our current alerts for this system right here. We have winter weather advisories from Nebraska through Michigan, and we have winter storm warnings in the northern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan. That is about it for the alerts. Let's move on to the winter weather outlooks. So, we're going to be looking at snow first, then freezing rain, because there is a chance of both. So, here is this system. This is the 24-hour probability of snow accumulating greater than or equal to 1 inch. So, right now we have, let's use this reds as a benchmark here, that's at least 80% from Nebraska into around Ottawa, Canada. So, you can see that the highest area of probability of receiving 1 inch is in northeastern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan, which is where we have those winter storm warnings. We move on here, you can see that chance grows through Canada. So from this, you can see that most of the high chances of snowfall are in Canada, even into northern Maine as well. Then you can see that it all moves out. So we kind of see where this snowfall will be occurring. Let's go to 4 inches real quick. Again, using that 80% as a benchmark, you can see just northeast of the lower peninsula getting those high chances. This tells us a lot about what this storm is going to do and what its effects will be on parts of the Midwest. So let's move on here into some of the models. We're going to be looking at the mesoscale models first, then we're going to be moving into the global models. And we're going to get multiple perspectives from many different models, and we're going to be going over the paths, the tracks, the impacts, and the snow totals of all of these models and compare them to each other at the end. So let's move on here to the NAM 3-kilometer model. So here is the NAM 3-kilometer model. So we can see here low pressure in Missouri. This moves north and east through Missouri pretty slowly, also not gaining much strength here. And you can see that snowfall from Michigan back into Nebraska, just where the probabilistic outlook had it to be. So we see it slowly moving through, slowly getting a little bit more strength, not by much, but still slowly getting some strength. And once it starts really dropping in pressure is when it starts getting into Canada. So you can see the quickest change here is when it's moving through Michigan, making most of those impacts here in parts of Canada and Maine. So the target area here is where you're going to see the most snowfall and the heaviest snowfall, and that is that northeast part of the LP of Michigan. Now there's also a severe side to this, which is currently ongoing. We have this cold front here, and you can see some possible thunderstorms popping up here. Severe chances are pretty low. These are probably general thunderstorms, maybe a few severe thunderstorm warnings, probably no tornado warnings, maybe 1 or 2, but not much there. Just maybe a little bit of some soaking thunderstorms in that area. So you also have this moving into the northeast and bringing some rainfall there, and rainfall generally south of that low pressure as it moves through the entire country, or the eastern part of the country, in fact. So let's start looking at some snowfall and rainfall totals for this system. So let's stop it right, I don't want to get too far, so right there. Total accumulated precipitation. This includes rain and snow. This is a liquid equivalent. So we have this T shape here, where we have the base of the T right here, and the horizontal line, which is kind of slanted here. That's where we're going to be seeing the most amount of precipitation, from Nebraska into Canada and from Louisiana to Michigan. Now you also have this other kind of minor set here of 1/2 inch to 2 inches from Long Island and New York into New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. So that is what the NAM 3-kilometer model says about this storm, and for the rainfall and plus some snowfall in there. Snowfall totals, total positive snow depth change. You can see 1 to 3 inches, maybe a few areas of 3 to 5. Milwaukee is involved, but the Twin Cities are not involved. Chicago's not involved. Detroit's not involved. So that's why this storm will likely to stay as just this Midwest snowstorm and not be named Winter Storm Flynn, because not many people are in those winter storm warnings, that 2 million benchmark that the Weather Channel has put in place. Now, there's still a chance that this gets named for maybe some significant impacts, but I find it unlikely. So, let's go here to the 12-kilometer. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to go to HRRR, because the 12-kilometer model is basically just a mimic of the 3-kilometer model. So let's go back. Is there the 48-hour time frame? No, but we do have 18 hours. That should be fine. Yeah, so it's not loading in much. The HRRR, it's kind of loading its newest 48-hour model run right now, so but that's probably going to say something pretty close to the NAM 3-kilometer model. But after those mesoscale models, let's look at some freezing rain probabilistic outlooks. So we're going to come back here, freezing rain. So here is, it's going to load for a little bit, but here is the freezing rain outlooks. So we do have chances of freezing rain. This is 1/100th of an inch or greater in areas of the Northeast, including Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine, and that risk grows over the next several runs of this here, even getting into that 80% chance. So freezing rain definitely will play a role here, maybe less significant, but it's still there. So let's move on to the global models, which should display that freezing rain risk a little bit better than the mesoscale models. So here is the GFS, and we're going to look at the GFS pretty closely here. So you can see this T setup, and then that moves kind of pretty similar to the NAM 3-kilometer model. How's it getting a little bit more strength here, going down to 998 millibars, but you can see that little line of red and pink. That's that freezing rain risk, and where the darker the pink and red, the heavier that freezing rain is. So that shows pretty minor freezing rain, and it shows the total precipitation at right here. You can see those areas getting over an inch of rainfall here in Michigan, but otherwise you don't have much in terms of rainfall. In the south, you could see maybe some areas getting an inch, and in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. But again, you still have that T-shape, and that's where most of your significant impacts are. You also have this minor area in the northeast from some Atlantic moisture getting pulled up. Now, let's move on to the European model, last model of the day, but don't forget about those snow totals. Let's get the snow depth here. So let's punch this in for right around, yeah, GFS showing absolutely nothing here. Highest snow totals are 6-7 inches. Ice accumulations here showing some areas possibly getting 2/10 of an inch of ice in Canada, areas in Maine possibly getting 1/10 of an inch. But let's look at that European model real quick. I know this video is getting pretty long, so let's look here at the precipitation. So we have this storm system here, kind of weak, strengthens pretty quickly, get that lowest pressure as it's moving into Canada, and kind of the same thing there. Kind of more sleet here than freezing rain according to the European model, but you still have a little bit of freezing rain in there. So let's move on here to the snow depth. Alrighty. So the European model is showing up to a foot in parts of Michigan, maybe even 15 inches. But in terms of precipitation, it is showing that T shape a little bit wider and a little bit more significant. A lot more areas getting an inch of rain or more from this system. It also has that northeast blurb a little bit off the coast. But you have this main T shape with at least a half an inch here. But all these models have been kind of consistent with this. You have your significant impacts in terms of precipitation with this T shape here. You have your major snowfall in northeast lower peninsula of Michigan. Minor impacts everywhere else that'll see snow. Actually, probably the most major impacts are probably going to be in Canada here as they get that cold air and into maybe a little bit of northern Maine. But overall, this seems very insignificant, and that's why I don't think this will be named, but I think it'll still pack a punch for being early December. And this could cause a little bit of problems in the northeast with a little bit of icing there. That could bring up some winter storm warnings, but you already have winter weather advisories there. So, what do you think about this system? Do you think it's really that bust like the GFS thinks, or do you think it's a moderate snowfall like the NAM, or do you think areas could receive more than a foot of snow like the European model? Let me know in the comment section down below, but that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.